Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Uncensored with Sevyn K. I am Sevyn K, a relationship, life, and manifestation coach, combining the teachings of all three to help you bring in the life, love, and success you so much want, need, and desire. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today's going to be yet another juicy video, and I've been away for a few days, just taking some time to do some more interviews with people that have been dumpers and dumpies, just gaining a lot more clarity on this thing called love, breakups, relationships, manifesting, and really getting in tune with some content that's going to be of substance and really hit a lot of you in a way that's going to create change in the trajectory of where you're looking to be, whether it's bringing someone back that you truly love, improving the quality of your life, maybe moving on for good and just starting over fresh and really becoming someone else that you've always wished to be, so that you can finally be in the space, life, and relationship that you've always dreamed of. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you that that is absolutely, unequivocally very possible. You know, as human beings, we have such a firm set of beliefs, and our thought process governs, manages, dictates our daily behaviors and how we interact with others, how we're managing our feelings. You know, what is it that we are doing to seduce and, be alluring or be a turnoff, quite frankly. And so this is a really great time because the year is coming to a close, it's coming to an end. The holidays are about to start, and it's obviously a time of festivities and love in the air and, gift sharing and costumes and, holiday music and different foods, recipes, events. And so there's a lot of socializing going on here this time of the year. And of course, this is the toughest time to go through a breakup or be single for some people, or, it's just one of those times where you really have to take time to gain clarity, self-perspective, self-reflection. And for many of you that are just waking up every day and are not taking the time to really be self-aware and analyze what your life is, what do you want it to be, I can tell you guys that this is a really tough space to be in and not a good way to project your life, your goals, your ambitions. What do you want? Who do you want to be? Who are you fighting to be, and why are you struggling so much to become that or bring someone back that you lost and that you truly love? Now, I do want to make mention, guys, that, when I talk about breakups or being the dumpy, as we call it here on YouTube, if you were dumped because, or broken up with, rather, for those of you that are a little more sensitive to that term, because you cheated, especially if you did it more than once, committed adultery in a marriage, were abusive in any which way, mental, physical, emotional, financially. If you were very neglectful about financial stability, have very, very, very poor hygiene, drug and alcohol, substance abuse. Guys, I tried to be as upfront and direct as possible because those things that I mentioned carry some psychological and emotional strengths that are very damaging, not only to you, but the person that you're imposing these behaviors on. And it carries a different set of trauma on the person who we refer to as the dumpee, the dumper. So if someone left you for any of those reasons, as I talk through these videos about the dumper versus the dumpee, someone had to walk away from you. Guys, I encourage you to first foremost get some therapeutic help to get to the source of why you're exhibiting these damaging behaviors. This is not the traditional breakup circumstances that I talk of. And so if a person has broken up with you and you are in no contact and really wanting them back, and you haven't sought out any help to dig deep and unravel the reasons why you are consistently and constantly imposing these very painful, damaging, and even scary behaviors on people that you should be loving and protecting, please take a step back and give yourself the distance and respect their decision to leave and remain in no contact, and go get the necessary help that you need to make you better, to stop these behaviors, to get healthy again, and also to have a really great chance at being in a successful, healthy, safe relationship. So guys, with all that said, I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be posting some videos soon of some live interviews that I've done with some dumpers and dumpies so that you can get real live perspective on what's going on in the mind of a dumper and a dumpy soon after a breakup, right before the breakup, and even a couple of years after the breakup. So let's move forward, guys, because I had to say all of that just to catch you up and, bring you to where you possibly are today. And hopefully if this video has or is going to be of great help to you, post it in the comments below, ask your questions below. And if you need more help, guys, I cannot coach you through the comments. Please do share your stories in the comments. But if you need extra help beyond the comments and a basic question, schedule a coaching session. The description is going to show you how to do so. Now, some of the top reasons why you guys are struggling in no contact through the breakup and not bringing the ex back, and it's becoming harder for you than some of the maybe testimonies you're hearing or seeing. So let's talk about it. So reason number one that you are struggling more than other folks in no contacts after a breakup is because you have absolutely convinced yourself that your person has some sort of attachment style or has a way of being that is not susceptible to absence of you. That somehow you have gained the PhD in psychology to diagnose your person with a particular attachment or detachment style. And let me say this to you guys. When you do that to yourself while you're in no contact, you are heavily focusing way too much on what that person is or isn't doing, what they are reacting to or not reacting to. And that is the number one obvious reason that you are not working on you. You are still standing still, focusing way too much on this person. And in case you guys haven't been told, reminded, or informed, we are creatures of energy, physically, emotionally, vibrationally. And when you are stalking social media, over obsessing with what it is that this person will react to, they have an avoidant detachment style, they have this and they have that, and they don't do this and they don't pay attention, and oh my God, no contact doesn't work on them. It's been 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, for you to even know that much detail about how long you've been in no contact with it not working on your ex or the dumper means that you have spent very little to no time working on you. So you are struggling more than others or more than most in no contact because you haven't really actually applied no contact for the one reason that it's for, and that is for you. It is for you to gain your confidence, your self-esteem, to gain your power back, to gain your identity back, to become productive, self-care, self-love, to revamp, reinstate the constitution of relationships with people in your life outside of your ex. So you must redirect all of this energy that you have invested into them and reinvest it back into you. You must take a moment to let them go. Because every single day that you have focused on what they are or are not doing or what they're reacting to, that means that you are focusing and delivering and rendering all of your power and energy on them. And promising you this, they feel it, they know it, and they have absolutely no urgency or eagerness to respond to your absence. Because whether you're physically breaking no contact, whether you are breaking no contact subtly through stalking social media, maybe having brief conversations with friends or family, either way, ladies and gentlemen, even if you're sitting around researching every single reason why they still haven't reacted to your silence, you are breaking no contact, that is still being felt. You must completely stop and let them go. Now, it doesn't mean that you're letting go of the idea of ever reconciling with them. What I'm asking you to do and consider is rechanneling all of your energy vested into them back into you. Reason number 2 that you guys are struggling more with no contact than others and struggling to reattract the ex is because you have made this person the center of your attention during the relationship and after the breakup. Oftentimes, ladies and gentlemen, when we get into a relationship, we become extremely dissolvent of the rest of our life around us, and we render all that is us to this person, essentially losing your identity. Your identity becomes your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, your husband, your wife. And everything that you do in your life depends on what they do, what they don't do, what they say when they're going and when they're coming. And I will be the first to say this is extremely unhealthy. Losing your identity to a person who you accepted into a relationship actually becomes your universe, your source of all things. And when that person leaves, or if they break up with you, then essentially you have lost all of you. You have no placement as to where to be or how to be. And so with that said, the struggle with you and no contact as this person has walked away is that you don't know how to regain your identity. You lost a sense of you. And the only way that you have convinced yourself that you are going to feel better is to get them back. You have resolved within your thoughts, your emotions, that the only way that you will be happy, whole, and complete is to have them back in your life. And there is no other options. There's no one else, nothing else that can actually help you feel good again other than to get them back. And so in the midst of no contact, why you're struggling more than others is because you are frozen and paralyzed doing absolutely nothing other than trying to figure out how to get them back. You have wasted time, energy, hours and days neglecting you, all that is around you, what's important to you, and you are moving nowhere fast. So a little bit different than the prior reason for many of you who are doing some work on yourself but are still having too much focus. It's a little bit different than a person who seems to have no identity. When you have no identity, you feel like you have no existence. And by having no existence can actually cause you to become more obsessed with this person, can cause severe depression, can cause more of a paralytic sense to your life, and you have no trajectory. You have absolutely no blueprint of what to do, because all you know and have convinced yourself is that this is the only way that you will feel better. So this is a really great time to start seeking out resources, be it therapy, a psychologist, even coaching with someone like me to help you unravel this loss of identity, to gain back your identity, the source of you, to help you make better choices and decisions throughout your day so that you are able to gain back your footing, your sense of security, confidence, and be able to push and move forward, knowing that you are going to be okay and great on your own. Another reason that you are struggling more than others in no contact, or perhaps having a hard time attracting this person, is because you have placed them on such a pedestal and idealized with this person being better than you, more attractive than you, more financially stable than you, more successful than you. If you pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, when someone that you are not attracted to comes on to you or makes advances, and maybe this is something that you experienced in the past, you sort of have a sense of superiority over them, that you're more attractive than them, that you are, more desirable than them. And you have such an easy way of rejecting them. But when a person that you are extremely attracted to, that you have found extreme emotional connection to, sexual appeal, that you have chemistry and compatibility with, they almost make you nervous when you're around them, giving you a sense of inferiority. It's kind of like you shrink in their presence. And when a person that you love has, in your eyes, unexpectedly left you, there is a sense of inferiority. It's the celebrity to fan relationship. They are a celebrity and you have become the fan. You're idealizing them, idolizing them. You have put them in a godlike state, often leaving you feeling like you have no power. You are rendering to your powerlessness and your helplessness. You are rendering to feeling less attractive, less desirable, and by being in that state of mind and physically posturing yourself and psychologically giving into this, then you have convinced yourself that you have no wins. And if this person has even remotely reached out to you to say hello, to ask a very irrelevant question as a means to contact you, those behaviors will quickly be exhibited. And or if you have been in no contact in this state of mind where you have put this person on such a high pedestal and diminished the value of you and have increased the value of them over you, then you almost have gotten to a point where you can actually behave as if you don't deserve them, or anyone for that matter. Malcolm X said it best: a person who has power can be very corrupt, but a person who is powerless can be even more corrupt, because you are going to be corrupt to yourself. You're going to self-sabotage. You are going to further create beliefs that are going to keep you from being the best version of you for you, which will then create the byproduct of re-attracting your ex. So it is time that you get up off your ass and redirect those beliefs that you've created, rechannel how you're perceiving this person, knock them off the pedestal, put your crown back on, and again, like anyone else, seek out the resources necessary to make sure that you are changing your perspective and how you are idealizing with your ex. Ladies and gentlemen, no one is better or worse than you. They are just them. If you take any celebrity and strip them of their money and fame, they are regular folks and human beings that shit, shave, shower, cry, scream, kick, smell, just like anyone else. Susceptible to illness, susceptible to sadness, susceptible to heartbreak, just like you. So stop convincing yourself at all possible. Consider the idea of looking at this person that you have idealized with and maintained on a pedestal as the only person. They are the one, the only one for me, and put them back in human state. Dehumanize this celebrity that you are fantasizing with. Bring you and back them to reality. They are human, just like you. Another reason that people are struggling, or you may be struggling more with no contact, or the perception of reattracting, or that you can't reattract them back, is because you have convinced yourself that they truly never loved you. You have come up with all these reasons that are not facts and have merged them with your reality, and you have developed a sense of resentment that is felt all day long, be it physically, energetically, or otherwise. I mentioned this in a prior video, and I talk about this quite often in my coaching sessions. Guys, there is something called facts, and then there's something called your reality. And oftentimes, both things become merged. They collapse into each other. And a good example is a coaching session that I did with a young lady who had absolutely convinced herself that the person that walked away from her never really loved her, that everything he did was a facade. You know, he introduced her to his parents, his best friends. You know, he was giving her all the love, time, and affection. And when she requested a little extra time from him, he had cold feet and got distant and ended the relationship. And of course, I can certainly understand her disposition and saying, well, Sevyn, you know, it seemed to me like all of this was not real. He never loved me. He didn't care. And now I'm left with this feeling of I was never valuable. So we had to go through the facts and her reality. And the facts that came out in that coaching session was he absolutely did love me. He showed me all the reasons he loved me. And I have no reason to believe that he walked away from me because he didn't love me. We have to, ladies and gentlemen, stop merging or consider not collapsing what we create or conjure up in our minds as to what was, and then acting on those things today, because that is what will be. Your thoughts are very powerful. Your words are very powerful. The story that you tell yourself every day is very powerful. And anything that you tell yourself enough will become your belief. And this is what creates your emotions and drives your actions. And the moment that you have convinced yourself of things that you have absolutely no evidence of, it's a speculation, it's an assumption, it's a story that you've told yourself that you have lived into, you absolutely, unequivocally, without question, will change the trajectory of where you are in no contact and how you will or will not ever reattract the person that you love, or anyone for that matter. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we must consider really sitting down with ourselves and putting it together. Am I talking facts or am I creating stories? And are these stories becoming my beliefs that I am now living into? And this is why this thing that I want so bad, this person that I want to become, the very best of me that can't emerge, is because I am living into my stories. I am not working with the true facts. And while this is something that you have to break, it is a way of being that you can change. But you must make the effort by first sitting with yourself, or a person like me that can help coach you, perhaps a therapist. Perhaps sit down and journal. Did this person really care about me? If so, let me write the facts. Did this person leave me because they never loved me? If that is true, let me look at the facts. Or am I telling myself this because this is what makes sense, but this is not what is true? And ladies and gentlemen, when you collapse reality with facts, you create a mess. So you again must take your power back, your energy back, and focus on you. And this is why you might be struggling more than most with no contact, because you are not working with reality of true evidence and facts. You are working with your stories. And those stories, ladies and gentlemen, will get you in a lot of trouble. Trust me, I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had to give you this information because, sure, it's easy to just lean back on no contact. But when you have no reference points, when you have a ton of blind spots, when you have no go-tos, it is really easy to stay in the same space. Life and energy is about movement, right? Energy is always in motion. You must consider that at any time that you are standing still and you are not willing to grow, you're not willing to make the hard choices, you're not willing to put the work in, you are not even willing to listen to an entire video, you're not willing to make the financial investment to hire someone that can help you become that person that is going to reattract all of the things that your life so much is calling for: financial success and stability, peace of mind, love, relationships, help you accomplish your goals, be it health-wise, financially, personally, academically. Guys, you are not going to reach anywhere fast or faster by doing absolutely nothing but pining and being desperate and focusing on one human being. It is time that you take control of your life, of your action, and your choices. Because at the end of the day, we only have one chance at this thing called life. And if your entire life is centered around one human being, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to miss this thing called life. Because you are not living, you are surviving. And that is no way to live your life. And sure, we're going to have ups and downs, peaks and valleys. We're going to make wrong turns, make poor choices. We're going to make mistakes. But you get back up, you reflect, you research, you gain clarity, and you gain your fucking power back. You do not give it to someone else to control or manage for you. You get it back. Because when you give someone the gift of your absence as requested, when you give yourself the gift of love, self-care, confidence, and you invest back into you, and you gain your identity back, and you say less, and you do more for you and who you love, i.e. your children, your parents, your sibling, maybe people that are in need, and you push forward and triumph, and you show this person who has chosen to leave that you still love them and care for them and respect them and their choice, but that will not stop you from living your best damn life. That, ladies and gentlemen, is when you gain your power back. You become the best version of you, and that is the moment when they will come back. And if you continue to posture yourself in that behavior, is when they will become obsessed with you, enraveled in you, and will never want to leave your side. Go live your life, with or without them, your best life, and don't forget to put your crown back on. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this video helped. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Post your comments below. If you need a one-on-one coaching, the description gives the details. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you have the power, and on to the next video.